Mr. Brown, do you have any questions for for Corporal?
Yes. He said the person, I am not a person, so I'm trying to figure out.
Do you have a question for for Corporal Spidell? Corporal Spidell, I'm sorry, Corporal.
That's what the officer now.
Do you have a question for the Corporal?
No, I don't have a question.
Do you have any questions for Corporal?
Not for court. I have a question for
You have a question for whom?
the court.
Okay, you don't actually get to ask the court anything unless you have a motion that you'd like to file. The court doesn't really take up any questions at this point. We're in trial. So at this point, if you would like to cross-examine the witness, you may do so now.
No, I don't have any questions for the officer.
Okay, so the witness is free to step down. Will the defendant like to call any witnesses?
Speak for myself.
You would like to take the stand as a witness?
Yes.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you give will be the truth and the entire truth?
Yes.
Please state and spell your name for the record.
For the record, my name is Roman Brown. Living man. You said spell it.
Please spell it. Yes.
Capital R, lowercase O, M, lowercase M, lowercase N, lowercase N, capital B, lowercase R, lowercase O, lowercase W, lowercase N.
Before we jump into today's courtroom showdown, you need to understand exactly what you're about to witness. This isn't just another traffic stop case. This is what happens when internet legal theories collide headfirst with a real courtroom, a real judge, and real consequences. The defendant in this case has fully embraced the so-called traveler argument, a belief system that claims people can operate vehicles without licenses, registrations, or compliance with traffic laws simply by redefining themselves as travelers instead of drivers. If you've spent any time online, you've probably seen videos promoting these ideas as secret loopholes that supposedly place people beyond government authority. But here's the question: what happens when those theories are tested under oath, in front of a judge who actually knows the law? That's exactly what we're about to find out. Watch closely, because this case takes several dramatic turns. You'll see the defendant reject basic legal concepts, insist he's not subject to the same rules as everyone else, and repeatedly rely on arguments that courts across the country have consistently rejected. More importantly, you'll see a judge methodically explain why these claims fail and why the legal system doesn't operate based on personal beliefs. And trust me, the ending is something you won't want to miss. The confidence we see at the beginning of this hearing looks very different once the reality of a jail sentence starts setting in. By the time this case is over, we'll witness a complete transformation from certainty to regret. So stick around, pay attention to the judge's reasoning, and ask yourself this: how many people are being convinced online to follow advice that could completely derail their lives? Let's get into it.
I'm going to have you give your testimony from the podium as you are representing yourself, and you are now the witness as well as the acting on your own behalf as your own attorney. So you may proceed.
Yes. So I was traveling, I'm a non-citizen national, for the record. I am not a United States citizen. I am not a resident in the state. I live in the United States of America. But I was traveling. I didn't commit any crimes. The officer asked me for his documentation. I gave him the documentations. They were valid. The driver's license, he unlawfully detained me. I did not consent to any searches or seizures. He unlawfully violated my rights by going through my private property. He in the documents that he's brought up were like you just stated, they were not valid and they were canceled. So like I stated before, I was traveling. I'm not a driver. I reserve all of my rights.
What we're seeing here is one of the most recognizable patterns in sovereign citizen-style arguments. The belief is that changing the way a name is written, pronounced, capitalized, or represented somehow changes a person's legal obligations. The problem is that courts don't operate on magical wording formulas. They operate on statutes, evidence, and established legal principles. Notice how much effort is being spent discussing identity labels rather than addressing the actual allegations. The charges involve a vehicle, registration requirements, licensing requirements, and compliance with lawful police commands. None of those issues disappear because someone adopts a different description of themselves. This is often where these cases begin to unravel. Instead of presenting evidence that disproves the charges, the focus shifts toward redefining terms and concepts. The result is usually the same. The court remains focused on facts while the defendant remains focused on theories. And those two conversations rarely meet.
Mr. Garinger, do you have any questions for this witness?
No questions, Your Honor.
I reserve all of my rights under UCC 1-308.
I'm sorry, UCC. I need to be able to hear you clearly. You reserve all of your rights under
UCC 1-308.
Okay.
I do not accept this offer. I do not consent to any proceedings. I'm not a United States citizen.
Mr. Brown, I'm going to stop you right now. You can have a seat.
By the defendant's own admission, he canceled his own license. He did not have a valid license on May 12, 2023. He was not able to produce one, nor did he have a valid title, nor was he able to produce one. Your Honor, I believe you have a copy of the MCL code, so I won't go through reciting them all. But it is required in the state of Michigan that if you are on the roadways, that you must have a valid driver's license. It's also required that you're in your motor vehicle. You must have a valid title to that vehicle and registration. Finally, if you're given a lawful order from a police officer, you must obey those commands if they are a lawful order. The fact of the matter is that the defendant, Mr. Roman Brown, did not produce those things when he was stopped on May 12th, and he refused to comply with the lawful orders given by Corporal Spidell. Therefore, the people would ask that this honorable court find the defendant guilty on all three counts. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Closing arguments from Mr. Brown.